Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to my channel Spreading Positivity. This is Christabel here and I'm going to talk to you about the Menstrual Hygiene Day, which is celebrated on May 28th, and that is today. So without further ado, let's get started. So in today's video, I'll brief you about what is menstruation, what are the mental and physical changes that a girl go through, and what are the different phases of menstruation. This will be the first part of the video. In the second part of the video, I'll be focusing on the products that can be used during the menstrual cycles and how it has to be used. It's how you can keep yourself clean, and how important is your self hygiene is, etc. So these are the two parts of the video that I'll be focusing on. So I'm going to start with what is menstruation. So menstruation is nothing but a biological process which happens every month. So it's going to be a monthly procedure, and in which the lining of the women's uterus sheds. The cycle is a part of the women's reproductive system and preparing her body to get pregnant. So this is what is, in short, what a menstruation is normally. Okay, now I told you this is a monthly shedding of women's uterus, right? So in this case, you need to understand that the girl go through a lot of mental changes, that is hormonic changes, and etc. So as I told you, this prepares her body to get pregnant. So because of which two hormones called the progesterone and the estrogen both will increase, but estrogen will rise. There will be a sudden rise on the 14th day, and if the girl is not getting pregnant, of course on 28th day she will start bleeding out, or her menstrual cycle starts. So this is a very brief idea of what is menstruation and how it takes place. Now as I told you, there will be a lot of hormonic changes, and as a result of those hormonic changes, the girl will be going through mood swings. She'll be having stomach cramps, and that is the lower abdomen and the lower back pain, and then she'll be having acne. Those people, they might have night cravings, a very troubled sleep, then tenderness in her breast, etc. So these are the few symptoms that we find in a girl who's going through her periods or menstrual cycle. Okay, so usually it is like around 25 to 35 days long. That is for on an average it is 28 days, but there are cases in which it goes up to 35 days as well. So it is almost 21 to 35 days long. So here you need to understand what is the actual process and what does she go through. So mainly it is the outflow of the menstrual blood. Now the menstrual blood includes partly blood and partly tissues of the from the uterus walls, that is inside the uterus. So those tissues and the blood, it goes out through the cervix, and then through vagina it leaves the body. So this is how the exact process that she goes through. Now during this 21 to 35 days that I mentioned, it's an average cycle, and during these 21 to 35 days you can find a lot of different phase of periods. So there are 4 to 5 phases of periods, and so the first is the menstrual phase, and during this menstrual phase it lasts up to around 3 to 5 days, and in some cases it goes up to 7, which is all considered to be a normal. Then comes the follicular phase, which is from 6th day to 14th day. The third phase is the ovulation phase. In ovulation phase, what happens is that is the day 14, it releases an egg if it is fertilized. So the fertilized egg is called an ovum, and this process is called ovulation. Alright, now the next phase is called the luteal phase. During this luteal phase, it is considered from day 15, that is the next day of ovulation. So it's like 15th day till 28th day, it is considered to be the luteal phase. During this phase is when I said that the progesterone as well as the estrogen levels will increase. So this will happen if the girl is pregnant, and if she does not get pregnant during this 15 to 28 days, then the uterus will shed and again she will get her next cycle. So this is how periods works. Now I had also mentioned the mental issues that she goes through. Now getting into the second part of the video, I'll be discussing about the menstrual products and the hygienic steps that they should be careful of, etc. So getting into the products available in the market that can be used during the menstruation are sanitary napkins, which is very, very common. So there are sanitary napkins, there are tampons, there are menstrual cups. Then we have sanitary napkin itself, we have it in different forms. That is, we have the non-biodegradable ones, we have biodegradable ones, we have cloth, which is a natural form of sanitary napkins. So then we have the menstrual cup, which is made up of medically accredited silicone. So the silicone material makes sure that the menstrual cups are soft and is flexible. So since it is flexible, we can fold, twist, etc. Okay, now let's get into in detail. So I would suggest people to shift from their normal sanitary napkins, their pad, into a menstrual cup. So this is a replacement for your pads. Now the reason that I request people to, or I suggest to people to shift to this particular thing, you might see you can see it's kind of small, it's soft. Like I said, it's because it is silicone material, it is very soft and flexible, so we can fold, twist, etc. Only thing is, like, you need to be careful of your self hygiene. So this is the point where you need to know that you should keep your hands clean. You should use menstrual cups like before using and after using. You should make sure it is sterilized. So these are the main hygienic things that you need to be careful of. You should keep your hands always clean, and so you might have seen a lot of videos in YouTube itself regarding how it can be used. So I'll just tell you in a very brief manner how it works. So you need to sterilize it, and after sterilizing, once you start using, you have okay, I'm going to show only one method how I feel it is comfortable to use. Okay, so this is the C method, which we keep this pointing finger here, folds in, press it. See, once you press it, it will flatten like this. Okay, and then you fold it again. This forms a shape of C. So this, if you consider this as your vagina, you just insert it and you push it in, and when you push it, you can feel that it pops up. Once it pops up, you can, even if you pull it, it will not come down because it will be safe there and it will collect the blood. So once the cup is filled, and when you want to change, you just have to, you saw the stem, you just have to pull a little bit, hold on it, press it here and pull it down. It will release the suction and it will easily come out. So this is not going to hurt you. This is not going to break your hymen. This is not going to affect your virginity if you are a virgin. So these are the main things that you need to know about. Basically, you should know about menstrual cup. Now, menstrual cup, it has a lot of other benefits too. One is you can use it for around, like different companies claim it for around 5 years and all that. So at least when, because you are sterilizing it and reusing sterilizing, so because of that you can, you might feel that the menstrual cup becomes a little harder. So once you feel it's getting harder, then you can dispose it. But the thing is that the difference from normal sanitary napkins are that it is, you just have to invest one single shot money for this thing, and then you can use it for around next 3 to 4 years very safely. Whereas when you compare the expense itself for a sanitary napkin, you just calculate it for a year, and then for a few years you will understand how much you are going to incur expense only for your pads and all that. So this is something very cost effective, and also one of the safest and the healthiest method that you can use. The safest benefit is not only for yourself but also towards the environment. Just imagine how many pads you will use in a month, and then you dispose it off, and by which you are emitting too much of toxins into the environment. Whereas if you are using menstrual cups, it is much more safer for yourself as well as for the environment. So it's going to be an eco-friendly thing that you can use. Now when it comes to its benefits, it is much more comfortable than pads, because when you use pads, especially the sanitary napkins that you get in the market, it has a kind of plastic material that is and also in the latest ones you have the gel based pads as well, which is actually which is even more dangerous than a normal cotton pad. So that is one big issue where I myself have experienced, because one is, the longer you use it, the problem is that moisture is created, and because of the presence of moisture, it is always like, there's a high probability for causing infections such as vaginal, fungal issues and bacterial issues. So it is always better not to use such gel based pads. At least if you are a person who is completely sticking on to pads even after knowing all about the menstrual cups, then it is up to you, but at least make sure that you don't use gel based pads that is available. Another issue that we face is odor or smell. So especially if you're using pads and all that, all this perfumed and scented pads, it will suppress the odor of your period blood and all that. But what happens then is that the perfume or that scent what is used in the pad may not be actually good for you. mainly that is also one reason that will cause irritations in your body, and also especially at your vaginal part. So these are the few things that you need to be careful of while opting for a menstrual cup or a sanitary napkin or tampons. Here I'm not promoting any company or anything, so this is not a promoted or paid video, but it is just my suggestion that I feel that it is high time for us to switch to menstrual cups than using the old traditional cloth pads or even the sanitary napkins that is available in the market. So these are the few things that you need to be very careful, and also to understand about differences of all these things that is available in the market. Now these are the basic things. Now coming to your personal hygiene, other than the products and its hygiene and all that, what you need to understand is that you should always make sure that your undergarments are clean, and you always use only a clean undergarments during your periods. So it is again, it's a suggestion from my end that it is always better you keep 4 or 5 undergarments separately for the use only during your periods, and separately from those that you use on other days, that is when you are not on your period cycle. Then always keep your private area, that is your vaginal area, dry and free from the moist. As I told you, the moisture content there in that area, it will create a lot of fungal issues or fungal infections. So it is better not to use wet undergarments, or it is always advised by a lot of gynecologists that that area is to be kept clean and dry always. So even if you go for urination also, you keep it clean, like you can wash and pad dry with a turkey towel or a tissue. Then what you can use is that during your periods as well, before pulling up your undergarments directly after cleaning and washing and all that, never wear it directly. Pad dry it, and then pad dry that area, and then wear your undergarment, so that there will be no moisture content in that area. You are supposed to maintain your physical cleanliness and mental health. Next point is how you can keep your vaginal area clean. Now vagina is a part which cleans itself, so it has a self-cleaning process than and it is the better option than we giving some force and washing it with those washes that is available for your private areas. Please never use those washes. Instead, you can go for normal water and just keep it clean, and don't use any harsh soaps. Don't use any of the the soap that we used to take bath, or the body washes that we used to take bath. Instead of all this, you can switch to soaps that is skin friendly, that is a little more mild soaps. So you get all those medicated soaps in the market. I will link down the menstrual cup link as well in the description boxes. So please do check it out. And it is something that can be given as a gift also. It is not something that only you buy and you use it. Instead, you can also send gifts to your maybe a husband to your wife, or maybe to your sister, or maybe to your daughter. So let's develop a very eco-friendly, earthly, and be more concerned about your self-hygiene and your mental health during this menstrual hygiene day. So that's it for today's video. Thank you and have a nice day.